Hey guys, I'm having an identity crisis, and I've realized over the past couple months that it's not just my gender, it's like everything. And so I thought, we're gonna go back in time. So I watched a video that I posted last year in January about my goals for 2022. And I thought it was really interesting because, here's one of the things that I said. I kind of want to stop putting so much pressure on being involved in the system of US figure skating, as an organization and a consumer of their things. No offense to US figure skating, but I really want to start supporting movements outside of the competition structure. This video really illuminated a lot of things for me. One of the things is that I have been kind of sick of the way I've been living and interacting with figure skating for 2 years at this point, and it's giving me some mental woes because on the one hand, I really like skating, and I've obviously built up a lot of things around skating. I have a skating Instagram. This YouTube channel is predominantly skating. Channel name right now is JadaSoloDances. On the other hand, skating has given me more discontentment and dysphoria than anything in my day-to-day life. And so for a lot of reasons, I find myself giving excuses on why I shouldn't skate or can skate. Really, I just realized, again, from this video, here's another thing I said. I'm trying to not spend too much time doing a lot of not skating stuff within skating because I feel like that takes up more of my time than I do actually skating. So that is not true anymore. I am not doing more non-skating stuff within skating than the actual physical activity of skating. But I don't know that what I'm doing right now is any better because I'm just not interacting with skating at all, or it feels like a bad ex you can't quite disconnect from, but you have such strong feelings for that you don't really know what to do with those emotions. And so for a little bit, I thought that okay, cool, I will do some more contemporary skating. I'm gonna do AIT. I'm gonna do my own little baby projects. And those are great. It is not enough to keep me on the ice right now, considering the organized opportunities for that are few and far between. And unfortunately, theater on ice still feels like figure skating. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. There's just I still have to interact with US figure skating in some capacity. And I said last year that I really wanted to not really do that anymore. And I've had people push back, and I'm like, no, you don't understand. Personally, I feel like the organization's too far gone, but we're not going to talk about that right now without proper citations and stuff. We're just talking right now, and I'm really just trying to vent my feelings because I don't know what to do. I want to make videos. I can't make videos because it involves skating, and every time I sit down to write a really good video about skating, I get sucked up in the absolute horrific nature that is skating right now. Not to say that people are jumping off of bridges and getting murdered, but it's just not great for people that I feel like I represent. Black people, trans people, other people of minority identities. It's just not good right now. And I don't know that I can just sit here and say how great the sport is and hear all of these objective things that the sport provides when the subtext of the sport is so caustic. I can't just guide y'all into the fire. And there's just so much more nuance that I need to talk about, but it's such a complex area of thought, and I don't have the brain space for it because I'm a full-time person working 3 jobs right now within my one job getting the same salary. So essentially, I feel like I niched 2 down. In 2018, I started my Instagram page, which was originally called Jada Skates because I just wanted to track my skating so that I could have some external accountability to keeping up with this thing that I started within a 2-week span. More on that in a future video, I promise. I am currently making my first real foray into content creation was a travel blog called Mindful Banner Travel. I loved that blog. I still love it to this day. The only real reason why I haven't actually done anything with it is because we were in a pandemic and I can't travel, and traveling costs money, and I don't want to get COVID. There's just a lot of reasons why that account is not a thing, but I made it to track all of the research I was doing for my study abroad to South Korea, and there was no information about studying abroad to South Korea, particularly for people from the United States. So there were just a lot of nuanced things that I'm like, there's no centralized place for all this information. So I made it, of course, because that's what I do. That's why this channel exists. That's why JadaSoloDances on Instagram exists. That's why I've been on the Philly Mag and the other thing. That's why we're here, is because that's just me as a person. I try to hyperfixate and create a lot of material for myself and then go, well, I might as well do something with it. And then I realized that was like a one-time thing, and now I have to keep it up if I want to like make a thing out of it. I don't feel that way about this channel though. I crave making content on this channel every day. The reason why I don't make more content is because I am burnt out emotionally, spiritually, and from like a logistical standpoint. I made figure skating my whole personality, and I think that's why I'm having issues right now, because figure skating is my personality, but figure skating is causing me a lot of mental harm, and that's hard to wrap myself around. I feel like the journey of JadaSoloDances has been like this train that is just running away from me. And not to say that like, oh, I missed my moment. I don't give a shit about fame. Like I would like this channel to grow, but I would rather it grow from me putting out content I care about rather than just putting up introductory videos that you could probably go to Coach Julia's page to find. I don't want to keep making like duplicative content. I want to make stuff I care about that doesn't exist on the internet, even if it happens to be niche. I'd rather that information be available. I made JadaSoloDances to track my skating, and when I stopped tracking my skating, I felt like I had no real purpose to posting on Instagram. So I would have occasionally post some skating stuff or random stuff, but like, I don't know, I don't really post a whole lot of anything these days, and really just out of my stories, and usually just selfies at the gym locker room and not actually posting gym content, because I don't even know if I want to jump into that. But maybe I'm listening to the social media gurus too much that told me to niche down. And so I'm like, well, what happens if I do one gym video? Or people are going to want like 20 of them. They're not going to want 20 of them. They might want like 10 across the lifespan of the channel. And that's another mental hurdle I have, is because I want to do things correctly the way that I was trained to make social media content, to niche down, to make consistent content. But you know what? Those rules were from 2018. We're in a pandemic still, although people want to pretend that we're not. 2023 is a completely different social media landscape. TikTok has run away with a lot of people's attention, but also feels like it's circling back around to YouTube. I don't know. But the other problem I have an audience problem. Because figure skating is so insular. The people who watch figure skating content tend to be people who already are into figure skating. There's no discovery content for figure skating, and I don't actually know where that happens in the process. I don't know how people like randomly just discover. And I think it really relies on the greater figure skating ecosystem, the more visible parts of figure skating, like the competitions, to actually do their job and make stuff viewable and accessible, which figure skating is dog crap at. I swear, I have not watched a single competition this season because one, Peacock is absolute garbage and they stopped having replays, but also it is mind-numbingly boring to watch figure skating competitions if you don't know what's going on. It's like mildly entertaining if you like halfway know what's going on, but if you don't know what's going on, you're just watching people skate around on ice and do really cool stuff, and that's it. And how is that, like, and on top of the price that it costs to attend a competition, like, there's just so many things that make here, what I'm doing here and I want to do here, accessible, and to reach people that I want to reach. I want to reach people who don't really have any, who didn't think about figure skating until they're like, well, that's a cool thing that I could do. I could do that. You know, people will skate once a year or so, you know, out at public rinks, seasonal or whatever, and no one ever thinks that they can actually do the thing like I did. And I didn't think I could do the thing either. I just hyperfixated on trying to do the thing because it brought me joy. I want to bring myself joy, and I want to help bring joy to other people. And I don't necessarily know that that's always figure skating. I'm also grieving this because it kind of means the end of an era for JadaSoloDances. I'm probably not going to keep the channel name. I don't know what that looks like right now. Like I said, I'm going through an identity crisis in all aspects of my life, so I'm really struggling to find like the balance. But I think first it starts with this video. And I think it really just boils down to like, I'm not going to find the audience that I want to reach through figure skating only content. So I'm finding myself and I'm finding my audience here because I miss making videos so much. And I've watched too many YouTubers before me burn themselves out off of their content. One, because they really, you know, they became like monetized influencers, and like, I don't really care if this channel ever makes money. I have a job. But I've seen so many like very bright people burn themselves out to the point where this is no longer fun. I didn't want this to become a lifestyle channel. In fact, when I conceptualized this channel, I was like, by no means are we becoming like a Gymshark girly. But there are other ways of being like a lifestyle or just like a nicheless channel that allows me to talk more about just like other stuff. I've talked about gender identity here. I've talked about being a person of color, particularly a black person in a white dominant activity. And there are just so many things like that. Like, I went to school for social work in psychology. So I have a lot of that stuff just living in my brain, and I would love to channel that somewhere, particularly because my job doesn't really have room for that kind of introspection. So I want to use the space for that. I hope that's okay. If you decide that I am no longer your cup of tea, that's okay. I'm going to keep being here though, and I will be blocking comments that are mean because there have been a lot of mean comments on my trans videos lately, and I don't like it. So we're going to, again, center my joy and happiness, and that's like the queerest thing that you can do. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Please follow me on Instagram if you want to hear more random stuff that I say, just like this video. Bye bye. Bye bye bye.